So we're Crossroads Derbyshire, we're based in the High Peak. We're a domestic abuse service supporting women, men and children across the whole of the High Peak and down into the Dales as well. We provide emergency refuge accommodation, outreach support for women and men, and support for children who might have experienced domestic abuse in the home or at risk. As you can see, we're very busy at this time of year with our Christmas toy collection that we distribute to any families that we've supported through the year who are really struggling as a result of abuse, to provide Christmas presents for their children, and to make it a special time of year when they may have had to flee their homes, uproot everything as a result of abuse that they've experienced.
And I think that's a really positive thing around the fact that locally we've got such a lot of support in the community, haven't we?
Yeah.
We really have, which is why people are so generous, and we've got all of these things to give away this Christmas.
It's been a really special year for us as well, because we've celebrated our 40th anniversary this year. So we've been providing services. We were set up by volunteers in the High Peak, providing services for 40 years, and over that time we've grown hugely.
Well, the services are so much needed, and I know from just 2 years as Member of Parliament, but just for living in the area for the last 30 years or so, with friends, with people that I know who've needed your services here at Crossroads, that it's very easy to think that you've nowhere to turn, and the fact that Crossroads is now becoming much more well known and you're out there in the community, it makes it much easier if the people I speak to have heard the name, or they've heard something good about Crossroads. And when I'm meeting people, and it's largely women who come to my surgeries, often about another issue entirely, but having experienced controlling relationships myself, then you can look out for the signs and come to a point in a conversation where you're able to say to someone, is this an issue? Is it a problem for you? And then you can get some information, but knowing that you can refer them to somewhere, and that Crossroads provides such a brilliant service is just invaluable. It's
been very positive working with you over the last 2 years. I know a lot of our service users have talked about their contact with you, and you've come to us, and between us we've managed to resolve some things, so it's very positive to have you alongside us.
That's it, and I think it's really important to know that we do have an MP who is very active in that casework and is able to pick up those cases and has a good understanding of issues around universal credit and housing, because it's a much bigger picture than just the domestic abuse, isn't it? It's all those other elements. If someone's experienced financial abuse, if they're having to relocate suddenly, it's having that housing available, and it's been
and the
really
funds to do it. And
that's
the real issue, isn't it?
Yes.
We can resolve issues around domestic abuse, but then it's making sure that the future is safe, and safe means in all aspects, financially, and having a roof over their head, and so
that's where to working and seeing women's experience locally and all families, and working closely with Crossroads to hear from your service users' experience is just really valuable, to be able to take that to Parliament when I'm working on the Work and Pension Select Committee, and we've been looking at how the benefit system can support partners who are experiencing abuse and who need to leave that relationship. At the moment, the way universal credit has been set up, it can seem almost impossible for them, particularly under the single payments, where that goes to one member of a household. And I've been arguing very hard to make sure that that payment is split between couples, so that they both get some financial independence. And if when the government refused to do that, to call for it to go to the main carer. Now Amber Rudd, as Secretary of State, agreed to that. But our experience on the ground is that it's just not happening enough, and the message hasn't got out. So that's something that I'm desperately keen to make sure that we can take back to Parliament and take it up, because there are people out there, families and partners with children, who feel trapped in a violent or abusive relationship, and without any means to get out.
Absolutely.
And that's
yeah.
something that's really important for me to be able to take forward,
Yes.
hopefully with a Labour government that just gets it,
Yes.
that I will battle on for people who are experiencing domestic violence,
Yeah.
whichever government is in charge, and it's been fantastic to work with Crossroads.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for the work that you
Likewise.
do.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you very much.